to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Chas Gayhart. It is Friday, April 12th, and it is 4:59 on a Friday morning, thankfully, and not a bad drive at all on the way in this morning. So let's send it over to Tim and see what's expected the rest of the day.
Good morning, Chaz. Happy TGIF. And unfortunately, if you're not a fan of the breeze and you're not liking some of the cooler feel to the air this morning, you won't be a fan of today. But you know what? You're going to love the weekend. Outside we go, 50 degrees, a little wet outside our studios here at WYMT. And temperature-wise, unlike yesterday, we're about 15 degrees colder in a lot of locations. Pretty much the upper 40s and lower 50s a rule of thumb, and that wind a little gusty in nature too. Some of the gusts recently in Hazard to 21 miles per hour. A scattering of rain showers this morning, looping the data here over the last hour. You see everything tracking basically west, northwest to the east, southeast. As we check out the planner as we head through the day, we'll get some breaks of sunshine. It'll be breezy. Scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms, and a forecast high today in Hazard up close to 56. More about the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Chaz?
Thank you, Tim. Well, the search for the next head coach of Kentucky basketball has moved online, with Big Blue Nation trying to track the latest updates. There was even a back and forth with Baylor fans over the possibility of Scott Drew. That included one famous Baylor fan. Jeremy Toms explains.
In a normal world, Broadhead, Kentucky and Waco, Texas would have no correlation, but Big Blue Nation isn't living in that world this week.
Coach Cal used to say we're crazy. Well, we are. We are crazy fans.
Tyler Holman has been fully engaged in the craziness of the coaching carousel.
With the flight tracking and calling the diner and everything.
And Wednesday night, he found himself in a war of words with one of Baylor's most well-known supporters.
Well, I honestly did not know who Chip Gaines was.
Holman set off a spat between himself and HGTV star Chip Gaines, with Chip asking if he kissed his mother with that mouth.
What did you say to that?
The answer?
I said, right on the forehead.
Once his mom, Tanya, found out what was happening.
I said, what have you done? You know, I didn't want no ill will between anybody.
But Holman's heated exchange quickly turned wholesome. She acknowledged she does watch their shows, and Chip responded that he'll be sending her gifts from their Magnolia line of products. Holman says these past few days have shown the collective passion of this Kentucky fan base.
I think the Big Blue Nation is hands down the best fans in the country. We're crazy in a good way because we care. You know, this means a lot to us.
In Rockcastle County, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
Holman says he and his mom would like to return the favor to Chip. They're trying to arrange a gift basket for him full of Big Blue goodies and maybe even a bottle of Kentucky bourbon. Well, hundreds of school leaders and students gathered at UVA Wise to celebrate the rededication of the Pippin and Willie Hall. The former library is now a state-of-the-art nursing education facility with the help of more than $16 million in renovations. Nursing instructor Summer Buckmeyer says she's happy to see alumni giving back to the college to help educate future healthcare professionals.
It's very important to be able to have this space. We need that, especially in this area, in the Southwest Virginia, that this area struggles. And when we have alumni that come back to give, it's great. I mean, we couldn't do it without them.
Buckmeyer says students will have the opportunity to learn in a state-of-the-art building. Officials in Whitesburg are gearing up for their annual spring cleaning event. The event starts at 9 a.m. Saturday at the Whitesburg Fire Department. Mayor Tiffany Kraft says each year folks come out picking up trash along their river and other parts of the city. She says since the July 2022 flood, there has been more trash flowing through waterways.
Go on the side of the roads who like to pick up out of the ditch lines, and especially on the riverbank, and especially since the flooding of 2022, we've got a lot of things that are still washing down and collecting on the riverbank. So we'll have a lot of people down that way and in the ditch lines cleaning out what has washed down.
Kraft says it is important that folks take part in keeping their communities clean, adding it is nice to see how many people in the community participate each year. Students from around the region are coming together with the help of the Appalachian Arts Alliance to perform Sister Act Junior. WYMT's Madison Carmouche has more from the young performers.
The Appalachian Arts Alliance uses its programs to give students a platform to explore their creative talents.
And some people are learning that they want to go into musical theater. Some people are learning their future. They absolutely love it here. So it's just an amazing program. It always has been.
While some students may be interested in STEM or sports, there are students like Caleb Torrey who need a creative outlet.
Like, even around my area, I've been shunned for liking art. I mean, there's always do football, do baseball. But I've always loved theater, and I don't think people should push it away. Like, even then, I don't have the opportunity like I do in my area because all theaters and all communities, they're really forgotten. So it's just, I guess it's just important to express yourself.
And for students like Aubrey Couch, the 40-minute drive from Letcher County is made worth it by the friends made and the experience gained.
We all just kind of clicked. I don't care if I would have to drive all the way to California just to come here.
Executive Director Tim Deaton says it is important to give students a place to grow, not only as performers, but as people.
It's always a beautiful thing to see that first time that a student walks in the door and they're very shy and they're very reserved and they don't want to be as loud and talkative, and then by the end of the production you see them with this whole group of friends that they found, and they're laughing and they're screaming and they're singing and they're dancing, and they've just blossomed into this beautiful being.
Allowing students to find a community within their community. In Hazard, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
Tickets for the Sister Act Junior will be sold at the door during all 3 showings at the Forum. For more information, just find this story on our website. Well, thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, dog DNA testing has boomed in the U.S. with people wanting to know more about their pups.
And weather-wise this morning, the active weather from yesterday afternoon, last evening, Cameron was talking about well to the north and east. You can see the way the loop is going, coming from the northwest. So how cool today? Can we rebound in time for the weekend? We'll let you know. Your first alert 7-day forecast is coming up right after the break.